And after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord said to Joshua, son of Nun, Moses' aide, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now then, you and all of these people, get ready to give them to the Israelites. I will give you every place where you set your foot, as I promised Moses. Your territory will extend from the desert to Lebanon, and from the great river, the Euphrates, all the Hittite country, to the Mediterranean Sea in the west. No one will ever stand against you all the days of your life. And as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Be strong and courageous, because you will lead these people to inherit the land that I swore to their ancestors to give to them. Be strong and courageous. Be careful to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn from it to the left or to the right, that you may be successful wherever you go. And keep this book of the law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night, so that you will be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God is with you, wherever you go. So, at this point, the Israelites had come out of Egypt. They had been with Moses. They'd seen the miracles that he had done there in Egypt. And now, for 40 years into the desert, following him because they've been disobedient to not just go into the promised land like the Lord told them to. So all that generation has died out. It's now a new generation. And Moses is the last one of that generation to die. And that was their leader. So they are now transitioning from their original leader who gave them the law, who did all the miracles, who talked to God for them. This was the man who mediated them with God. So with him dying, now they have no one really talking to God for them. So they're probably kind of in a panic when Moses is dead. And so there's probably a bunch of chaos, kind of like, okay, well, who's going to be the leader now? Who's going to be the leader now? It may be Joshua, I guess, because he was kind of the aide and everything, but who's going to be the leader? Well, the Lord immediately kind of snaps that in the bud right away, and he immediately talks to Joshua. And he says, get these people ready, because we are going to cross the river. And you're going to take them. Now think about this. It's roughly 1 million people. 1 million people, boys, girls, old people, goats, oxen, sheep, carts, buggies, all this types of stuff. They're crossing this river, and they're going to go inherit the land. Now, as we know, kind of in lessons before in the books before all this, that Moses sent spies into the land. And when they went into the land, they saw that there were really big kingdoms. There's actually 7 of them. And these kingdoms are massive. They have walls and armies and chariots. But yet the land is so beautiful, filled with wondrous things that the Lord had promised to the Israelites. And so their fearfulness kept them out of this. But now the Lord is calling them to go into it. They don't have an official army. They don't have official weapons. And yet they are called to go into this place and take it over. So obviously, this was going to be a very big step for Joshua. I imagine in Joshua's mind, as he's getting this word from the Lord, he's like, whoa now, you're wanting me to be the leader of 1 million people. And not only that, you're wanting me to take them from the desert where we've been now for 40 years, kind of become desert nomads. We kind of live this life. We kind of know how this works. To now being a people that's settled in a land. But not only just settled in a land that's already settled in. There's people already there. And you're telling us to wipe them out? And they're bigger than us? Stronger than us? They have armies, they have chariots and swords and everything else. And we're just people. We're just your people, and you're expecting us to do this. So I imagine that at this point, Joshua is intimidated. He's like, Lord, you have given me way too big of a sandwich. I can't eat this. There is no way I can eat this. But the thing is, we see here that the Lord tells Joshua 3 times to be strong and courageous. You see, God gave Joshua this vision for his people. He called Joshua to do this. This was Joshua's mission. This was God's mission for Jericho with the giant walls. And they're just staring at the walls, and the people are looking down at them, saying, "You're really going to try to take over us? We have these walls that separate us from you, and yet you're going to deal." For him to get these words, to be strong, to be resolute, to be firm. Don't sway from the mission I've given you. It may be hard, it may seem impossible, guys. Notice here that there's three things. One is that there's three things that God calls Joshua to do. One of them is obviously to be strong and be always on his lips, to meditate on it day and night, and to be careful to do everything that is written in it. So it's not really big, but it gets kind of deep. But anyways, so it's not like our typical rivers that we have over here. But nevertheless, the Lord wanted them to cross it and enter into, how many of y'all know that there's about roughly 600 of them? There's 600 laws that the people have that they have to follow. And it ranges from everything